Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. All right, y'all can hear me now. Jeez Louise and pork and beans. Hi everybody, I'm late. It's not by my fault. It's because Cheese, Louise, and pork. I just need to know that y'all can hear me, okay? Okay. Let me just share. Y'all, I don't know. I'm late because why? Because of the daggone audio. Oh my goodness. And I just don't understand why. Why I have to go through all this. All right. Just sharing this to a couple of things. Um, Hold on. Y'all know this is a hot mess. Um, Scar. I don't know. I had it where you can do it the story. Oh, I gotta go back in this way. And then do it to it won't let you do it that way. Alright. Okay, guys. Hi. How you doing? Welcome to the Spanky Live Hot Topic Corner. Yes, we are live. This is the Hot Topic Corner. I'm just gonna set this down here. Maybe set it between here. Will it go in between there? Right there, I guess. Alright. How y'all doing? Well, let me tell you how my day went. First off, I had to get prepped because I had to wash my hair. Then I had to style my hair, because sometimes I just do my own hair. Most of the time I do my own hair, as y'all can see. So, then I was on time. I swear I was. And then I had speaker issues and mic issues and everything else kind of issues that you can have. I mean, it always happens to me. If y'all notice, 50% of the time, it's always happening to me. I don't know why, but it's kind of pissing me off. But y'all can hear me clearly. And move this a little bit forward. Okay. And so tonight's hot topic, I did run a little ad about what I was going to be speaking about tonight. And it had to do with how relationships affect children. So when I'm talking about this and speaking on this, I'm speaking on it in a different light, okay? Different than what you think, because the title sounds simple and easy, but it's not. I've been focusing on saving our youth in the community and things like that. So I have a story tonight to show you. Once again, about our youth. Okay, and before I play the story, I'm just going to talk about how, relationships affect your youth. When you have a child out of wedlock, or, while you're in and out of a relationship, sometimes the child can be lost in the crossfire. Most times the child can be lost in the crossfire. And it's because some parents are not mentally ready to handle the position in which they were put themselves into. Not given, put themselves into. So in this instance, it is really affecting the children in our communities. Children are born pure of heart. They're born not seeing color. They're born just with the most purest of souls. And, after day 1, day 2 of whomever they were born from, that determines the outcome of how a child's upbringing will go. And sometimes it is not into the best of the environments, okay? So first we're going to watch this story that I did some research on. And I'll just let y'all watch the story first with me, and then we'll go into detail about, what it's about. So let's watch the story first. Hold on. All right. All right, so we're going to watch the story first, and here goes. And this is, viewer discretion is advised. This is for adults only. And so there we go.
I don't know what's going on, but she's not here. How old is she? She's 5. 5? Yes, ma'am. What time did you wake up? I saw her at 5:30 last night. 5:30 last night. Is that when you put her to bed? Yes, ma'am. No, when she went back to bed. this morning. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were there any doors open or anything like that?
She know how to unlock the front door.
Okay. What is her name?
Shania Davis.
As humans, we all have our fair share of mistakes. It's inevitable. It will happen. Some of us have things that we wish we could go back in time and change, but the truth is that once a mistake is created, you can only either move forward and learn from the mistake, or you can choose to repeat it. But we as society seem to repeat the same mistakes over and over. This next story that I'm bringing to you is coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I truly believe that if it weren't for this one fatal mistake, then the outcome might have been totally different. This is the story about how mistake after mistake would alter the lives of many. This is the story of Shania Davis, or who others know as Angel. June 14, 2004. The world would make way for Shania Davis. Shania Davis was described as very friendly. Her father says that she was well reserved. She was shy in the beginning, but if she warmed up to you and got to know you, she would eventually get on your nerves, just the amount of attention that she would show you. She also, at her age, seemed to have a good understanding of work ethic. She was a busy bumblebee. Whenever someone was, say, cleaning the house, she had to be right there helping them. She was also a little diva in the making. She enjoyed the girly things, such as playing dress up, fixing hair, playing with Barbie dolls, just anything that a normal child her age would do. That's what she did. She was brought into this world by Bradley Lockhart and Antoinette. Now, by the year of 2009, Shania would be 5 years old. She would be attending Morganton Road Elementary School. The teachers there loved her. She was eager to learn. The students loved her as well. As I said, she was a real friendly person, so making conversation with a stranger was a little rough at first, but once she got to know him, she was all over them. That's just how she was. Shania would be predominantly raised by her father. Her mother was never really in her life. And in a minute, you're going to find out that it probably should have stayed that way. Now, Shania's life was great. Life at home with her dad was lovely, but her mom, on the other hand, was going through a lot of issues. She had past drug use, past problems, and at the year of 2009, I guess Bradley felt like she was trying to change for the better. She had gotten a place to live, so Bradley decided that maybe it'd be a good thing if he let Shania be inside of her life. So Bradley sent Shania to live with Antoinette. So at this point, Shania is essentially between her father's house and her mother's house. She would go visit her father, but her father was remarried. He had a wife. And she would testify that sometimes it seems that Shania had marks on her. She felt that she was being abused. She said that on a few occasions she saw cigarette burns in her skin. But regardless of those situations, Shania continued to go to her mother's house. The back and forth visits would continue until November 10th of 2009. That's when those visits would come to a screeching halt because Shania would vanish. And at 6:52 in the morning, her mother would place a call to 911, informing them that her daughter was missing and she can't find her.
911, where's your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Antoinette Davis, 1116 A Hollow.
Ma'am?
My name is Antoinette Davis, 1116 A Hollow.
Okay, I'm not getting your address clearly. Can you slow down a little bit and tell me again?
1116 A Hollow.
1116A?
16.
16?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. How can I help you?
I woke up this morning and my daughter was not in the house. I don't know if she walked out or I don't know what's going on, but she's not here.
How old is your daughter?
She's 5.
5?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What time did you wake up? When did you last see her?
I saw her at 5:30 last night.
5:30 last night. Is that when you put her to bed?
Yes, ma'am. No, when she went back to bed.
Okay. That was 5 this morning. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were there any doors open or anything like that?
She know how to unlock the front door.
Okay. What is her her name?
Shania Davis.
Spell that name for me.
SHANIYA.
And she white, black, or Hispanic?
She's mixed.
Okay.
She's biracial.
What was she wearing?
She's wearing just a blue, big old a blue shirt with designs on the front, but her hair is out.
Okay. Did she have on any pants?
She didn't take no shoes, no pants, no nothing.
Did she have on underwear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know what color?
They're white and got pink. I guess I can't really remember. They're like white with pink designs on them.
Okay. Okay. And you said none of the doors were open?
No, ma'am. They were locked, but she knows how to unlock the front door.
Was it closed this
Yes,
morning?
ma'am.
And you said it was around 5:30?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you checked the neighborhood?
I checked everywhere. I haven't checked the back end of the neighborhood yet, but I checked the front end. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do.
Are there any more juveniles inside the home?
It's my son, but he's here.
Okay. And your door was not unlocked, that's what you're telling me?
No, it was not unlocked, but I'm telling you, she knows how to unlock it. I'm hoping that she didn't unlock it and walk out.
Okay.
Joining us exclusively from Fayetteville is Shania's father, Bradley Lockhart, and his sister, Carrie Lockhart Davis. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Bradley, let me begin with you. What are police telling you this morning about the latest in the search for your daughter?
They're keeping me informed, however, they're not providing a lot of information. I do understand it's in the best interest of the case in finding my daughter and bringing her home safely.
Are you feeling hopeful this morning?
I've been feeling hopeful every day that someone out there would do the right thing and take my daughter somewhere, to a hospital, police station, just anywhere safe, drop her off at Walmart, anywhere, I don't care. Just so somebody can find her and bring her back to the people that love her.
So Shania is missing. Her mother has no idea where she's at. So the police would issue an Amber Alert and they would immediately begin the search for Shania. Now, at this point, all they know is that she's missing and they have nothing to go on. But that Amber Alert would bring some good news. They would get a call from someone who worked at a hotel, a female employee, who says that she believes she saw Shania there the day before. She says that a younger gentleman came in with the female around the age of the person who was missing in the Amber Alert. She says that this guy rented a hotel room, said that he was on the way to drop her off with her mother, so he just needed to rest because he was driving a long way. Well, not only was that Shania, but they were able to capture surveillance camera of him carrying Shania through the hallway. So with this newfound information, the authorities would work quickly to find out who this guy is. But it doesn't take long because when you stay at hotels, you have to present an ID. So essentially, we'll figure out who this is very quickly. So they find out that this guy's name is Mario McNeil. Now, Mario is no stranger to the family. Mario used to date Antoinette's sister. So now they're just trying to figure out what is he doing with her. Now, Mario would be tracked down by the police. They find him. They interrogate him. Mario McNeil says he's innocent. He says that he took her to that hotel, however, he did drop her off, and he doesn't know where she's at presently. So Mario is basically saying that he's innocent, he doesn't know where she's at, so all the police can do is now go back to Antoinette Davis and try to get her side of the story. Now, seeing that he did used to date her sister, it makes it very funny circumstances that the mother called her in missing, but yet she's with someone that the family knows. So they start to interrogate Davis. And it doesn't take long for Davis to break. Now, this begins because Davis, although she did have a job, did have a stable household now, she was still using. And she had even racked up a lot of debt, taking drugs on consignment. And who did she owe this money? None other than Mario McNeil. Now, Mario McNeil didn't initially come over there to just try and get his money. You see, he had been smoking, doing a little drugs that night, and he was just going through his phone, hitting up females, trying to see if anyone was available to hang out. He had even tried to contact Antoinette's sister, just trying to come over, maybe chill a little bit. Well, she's not picking up the phone, so what he does is he decides to go over there. And when he goes over there, he sees Antoinette. He then tells Antoinette that he wants to see her sister Brenda. He wants to hang out with her, but Antoinette tells him that no, her sister is asleep. He can't see her. So what does he do then? He decides, well, since I can't see her, how about that money you owe me? You can run that to me right now. But she doesn't have the money. He gets upset. Now he's angry that he can't see the sister. He's belligerent. He's high. And now the only thing on his mind is his money. So since she can't pay him, he says, either you give me the money or you can spread your legs and we'll call it even. Well, Antoinette decides to take the negative option, only she doesn't fulfill this obligation herself. She decides to hand Mario her 5-year-old daughter and agrees to let Mario take her daughter to a hotel. So now that she's admitted this, she goes to jail. So now her and Mario are both in jail. With this newfound information, Mario is interrogated again. He maintains that he's innocent. He has nothing to do with anything. He once again says that yes, I was with her, but I dropped her off. Wherever she's at now, I don't know. Now, since the first interview, Mario has now tried to electrocute himself twice while he was in jail. Yes, tried to take himself out. So those are telling signs that something might not be right here. Something sinister might be lurking beneath these stories. So Shania is still missing. Her mother's in jail. Her father is going out of his mind. He can't find his daughter, but you're about to find out that this isn't the first time that Bradley has went through something like this. 11 years prior to Shania disappearing, his ex-wife would be murdered. Her name was Vicky Sue Lockhart. And on March 3rd of 1998, she would be back home visiting with her family. That is when intruders would enter the home. Inside this home were 5 adults. All 5 adults would be bound and gagged. And then once the robbery was completed, they would all be shot multiple times. Vicky Sue Lockhart and her sister Chanel Coleman, as well as another man named David Lee Epps, would all perish in this tragedy. So now you understand that Bradley Lockhart has been through this before. In fact, 6 years after losing his wife is when Shania would enter this world. And she would make life just a little bit easier. She would make the healing process just a little bit faster. And now his little beacon of light is missing.
I miss her and love her very much. Contact the police department. Anybody who has any information. Whoever has children out there knows how much their child means to them. Allow them to bring her home safely to us. Shania, if you're listening to Daddy, I miss you so much, honey, and I'm waiting for you. I'm not going to give up, and you don't give up either, honey.
At this point, we now have Antoinette in jail, and she's giving the authorities the real story. So they approach Mario and let him know, basically it's up. She told us everything, so where is she? So this is when Mario decides to tell the police what really happened. Only he doesn't really ever admit to anything. The only thing he ever admits to is where he left the body. He would disclose where he think he left her, although he does say he didn't know the exact location. So his lawyers get in contact with the authorities, let them know this information, but this is all just a charade, It's to pretend like you're showing transparency, like you're remorseful, like you really care. It's just the lawyer's way of trying to save you, because at this point, the only thing he can do is try and save you from the death penalty. So they searched the area that he provided for them, and they did in fact find Shania.
Good evening, everyone. Eyewitness News broke this story just after 1 o'clock, and new details continue to come in at this hour.
Chopper 11 HD remains live over the scene off Walker Road and Highway 87 on the Lee-Harnett County line. Authorities do remain on the scene tonight. We begin our coverage in the Breaking News Center live with details. Steve?
Francis and Tisha, search teams made up of volunteers and law enforcement officers spent a second day searching near the Lee-Harnett County line, and by about 1 o'clock this afternoon, they found the body of Shania Davis. Chopper 11 HD is flying over the scene. It's about a quarter-mile from Highway 87 southeast of Stanford. Fayetteville police are in charge of the investigation, and right now they're waiting for the SBI to arrive to help exhume the body. You can see they have lights out there, and they could be working there well into the night.
The motive behind the murder of Shania Davis is unknown, though we can speculate that he did violate her, and it was probably to keep her quiet. I'm pretty sure she put up quite a big fight. The coroner would conclude in the autopsy that she was violated and she was smothered. So, how it happened, he's never told how. I don't know if he ever will. But, you know, that's a real heinous act. It's sickening. It's sad. It makes you question humanity as a whole. You know, where are we going these days? Which brings me right back to the beginning of this video when I was talking about empathy. What a powerful thing empathy is. The ability to empathize with others, to truly feel how others are feeling. That is something that we as humans all possess. Just some choose to suppress it. And sometimes the lack of empathy causes us to do things that may cause a fatal mistake. Now, I say this to say this. I'm in no way, shape, or form trying to blame the authorities for her death. However, a couple of weeks before Shania went missing, Antoinette's house was raided by the authorities. You know, this was a drug raid. But during this raid, they didn't follow protocol. They were to notify Child Protection Services that they did in fact raid that house for drugs and there were children present. But the authorities did not do this. If it weren't for this one mistake, Shania might still be here, because proper procedure would have been for them to open a case on the family. They would have seen, you know, the habitat that she was living in with her mother, and they would have immediately sent Shania to live back with her father in a safe and clean environment. But due to this one mistake by the authorities, by not reporting what the facts were, she ended up losing her life, and I felt like that this was easily preventable. Yes, that monster Mario deserves every bit and every negative comment that comes his way. He is the reason why this happened, as well as Antoinette. But I can't stop thinking about how if they'd have just followed protocol and, reported that it wasn't a safe environment for her, she would have been taken out immediately, and she would probably still be here today. For Antoinette's role in this, she would receive a whopping 17 years at a minimum, and is currently due to be released out of prison in May of 2027. I feel like she's just as liable. I feel like she should be in there for the rest of her life, but that's the choice that the jury made, and the judge overall decided that that was the appropriate reaction. So can't do anything but move on from that. Now, as far as Mario, due to the nature of the crime, the prosecutors would in fact choose to seek the death penalty. So Mario McNeil would have his day in court, where he would stand in front of the judge, in front of the family, in front of the entire world, and his fate would be decided.
Will the foreperson please stand?
Madam Clerk, please take the verdict.
Madam Foreperson, the jury has returned as its verdict as to the issues and recommendation as to punishment as to the defendant, Mario McNeil, and file number 09-CRS-66040. As to issue number 1, yes. As to issue number 2, yes. As to issue number 3, yes. As to issue number 4, yes. The jury has returned as its recommendation as to the defendant, Mario McNeil, that he be sentenced to death. Is this unanimous recommendation of the jury? So say you all by raising your hand.
Court sees 12 hands. Thank you. You have a seat. Defense may have a seat.
Mario McNeil would attempt to have his death sentence overthrown. However, the Supreme Court denied to move forward with this motion, and his death sentence was upheld. And one day, those officers are going to walk down that hallway. They're going to open his cell. They're going to place him in cuffs. And then they're going to lead him to a little room, about the same size room as a normal hotel room, like the one he took Shania to. Then he'll be placed on a bed. He'll be strapped down, unable to move, unable to fight back, like Shania was when he guiltlessly took her life. And then they're going to take that syringe and place it inside of you. You're going to jerk, you're going to shake, you're going to fight back with everything that you have, just as I'm sure that Shania did before she left this earth. But just like she couldn't make it through, you won't make it through either. And the last thing that you will remember when you close your eyes will be that beautiful little angel's face. I can guarantee that. Rest in peace, Shania Davis. Thank you for being a light for others.
All right. There we go. Had to make sure my mic was turned back up. So, people, what do you think about it? You know, it's a very serious situation. In relationships. So from that first marriage, he had a son. Mr. Lockhart had a son. Not by Shania's mom. Okay. So the son, later on after Shania's death, a few years later, the son was shot to death. So he has lost an ex-wife in gun violence. He lost a son in gun violence, and he lost a daughter to a predator. Now, I don't know how that man is getting through. I mean, he getting through by the grace of God, I know, but I mean, he has had tragedy upon tragedy in his life. But it's all about what I mean about relationships affecting our children. See, he felt pity on the mother after she supposedly got clean and found her a place to stay, and felt that he should not keep a daughter away from the mother. So he allowed visits. Now, the thing was that it should have been supervised visits all the way around. And I agree with the speaker in when he said that law enforcement failed this child, because they did. She basically lived in a trap house. The son, her son, not of Lockhart, but her son and Shania should have been removed from the environment immediately. There should have been a report made. They should have been removed immediately from the environment. But they were not. But this is what I'm saying about relationships. All around relationships. It doesn't mean that the relationship between Lockhart and the mother, the relationship family-wise, the fact that you would sacrifice your child, 5-year-old daughter, because you didn't want to be violated yourself. Not only that, your sister, he was there to see your sister, not you. And you didn't wake your sister up and say, hey, you would rather turn your child, a 5-year-old daughter, over to a man that has no good intention. You know he's already been smoking. He's a little bit off. But you would turn her over to him because you are not in your right, stable mind. You couldn't have been in your right, stable mind to do that. But you knew what you was doing. And I say she knew what she was doing was because she had the logic to call 911 to cover her butt. Because she knew that when the father came to pick the daughter up, that he would want to know where his daughter was. Or that if she was harmed in any way, why was she harmed? The fate had been given to her as soon as she was taken from the household. Fate was already there. You knew that he had no choice but to kill that child because, first of all, he was going to violate her. Second of all, she knew who he was, and she can talk. She's 5 years old. She can talk. She can, it was just inevitable what was going to happen after that. How do we stop this in our community? Because I thought about this story because we have a child that is currently missing in my area here, Cody Bixby. And it might be under the same circumstances. Similar, may not be the exact same, but similar circumstances. All having to do with relationships. And the kids getting caught up in the crossfire of these relationships. Why can't we control this? She didn't think twice before she gave her daughter away. Before she threw her beautiful little daughter out like it was nothing ever over some money and drugs. Value of life. I've talked about this prior to in my other talks. Value of life. I mean, it's all about how we value life in others' lives. But that's a life that she brought here to this earth. So I went further into the case. And like I said, I wanted to follow up and find out how the father was doing and stuff like that. Because that Lockhart name was very familiar to me. As soon as it came up, I did remember the case. And then when they said that the older half-brother had been recently shot, they cannot find his killer. He was found shot to death in his car, not too far away from a trailer park that he had no business being at. It just makes you wonder. Who you hang around, who you trust, all of that is dependent on your fate, really, in the end. And it is very, very, very heartening that this young little girl, beautiful little girl, and the fact that you can see, they have it on video, her last moments. They have the very last moment that you see her alive on video. But I bet you they didn't show the part where he was carrying her out when he checked out of the hotel. She was probably, limp because she was dead. And he probably said, oh, she's just asleep. I really do give some credit to the hotel person that was familiar with what she saw. But I know that it weighed heavy on them because they could have said, well, why doesn't she have any shoes on? Why, they could have questioned more, even though it wasn't their place to do so. But how do you know? How do you know? You just don't know. And it took that long to figure it out. She was already dead. The only way that she could have been saved is if they had saw the moment that he pulled up into that hotel lobby. And they were right there to stop it. That was the only way she could have been saved at that point. People, we gotta do better. We gotta do better with our children. Now, I have shown you two similar cases of nature and one different case in which these children are being murdered by our own people. Yeah, he tried to electrocute himself as soon as he got caught. Of course he tried to electrocute himself because, she's haunting him every moment of the day and night. She was haunting him. It didn't matter if he went up in that courtroom every day with a smile on his face. He was being haunted before he went to bed at night. And the mother has to be, I don't know why, I don't know how she can't be haunted. She don't ever need to get another kid back. She don't need to get her son back. She just need to, I don't know. Okay, they gave her leniency, and I'm going to tell you why. She was an addict, which is a sickness. She wasn't in her right mind. These are the things that they come up with. It's no excuse. It's no excuse. You knew who had your child. Why didn't you not call him and say, give her back? Or I'm coming to meet you where you are. I mean, these are things that we got to think about. These are serious things within our community that's affecting our youth. They don't have a chance to grow like they used to. They don't have a chance to be who they should be, all because of the predators. And he wasn't even a predator. He was just doped up whatever and wanted a little something. He didn't care how he got it. He didn't care that she was a child or nothing. He just wanted his little something. It really doesn't make sense. How do we stop it? First of all, I'm bringing it to the light. I want to bring it to the light. As many cases as has passed, I want to bring it to the light. These children didn't die in vain. We got to bring it to the light. So when I see little excerpts, little cases like that, I'm going to bring it to the light. I'm going to shove it in your face. You know why? Because you need to be made aware that this isn't somebody from outside her community. This was somebody she knew, which was why she willingly was able to go with him. Because she knew him. She's seen him before. He used to date the aunt. She Shania said, this is the guy that dated my auntie. Meanwhile, she has no light anymore. She has no future. 5-year-old beautiful soul. Ripped away. Because even if she lived through that, she wouldn't have been right ever again. All the innocence, all the things that she trusted, all of that was wiped away from her. Yes, justice was served, but was it really? That cannot bring that child back. How do we prevent this from happening? We have to be aware of our surroundings, be aware of what's going on in our communities. If you really want to help and you see it, stop it some way. Try to stop it. Call a wellness check. If you notice that some kids ain't right, that they're emotionally unstable because they're coming in and out of an unstable environment, do a wellness check. You can anonymously do a wellness check. You really can. But we're afraid to even do that. Because why? Because when we call, if we call, and the outcome comes to be worse than what it should have been. For instance, a trigger happy cop that shoots down somebody. from a call when he don't even know who the person is that he's supposed to be shooting, if he's supposed to be shooting anything. He's supposed to be arresting, not shooting people anyway. Like at the couple's wedding where the father got shot for no reason at all. Because somebody called and said, there's a belligerent such and such, instead of trying to handle the situation right there. Y'all know y'all all drinking and dancing and stuff like that, but you gonna call, there's a belligerent such and such, and anybody, but he won't killing nobody, he won't hurting nobody, but you gonna call the police. Because we're out of control, people. The communities are out of control. This little innocent child should not have gone out that way. How do we fix it? We demand better training. We demand that we have a better surveillance of our community. Better surveillance, better way of communicating, a better training program for our cops to communicate with the community so that we feel safe in our communities. We have to come together. We have to go to the table. Go to your town hall meetings. Go have a meeting with your chief of police in your area, your local fire department, your local emergency department. Talk to them and see who, get familiar with the people. Then get familiar with your neighbors. Yes. You don't got to be all up in their business, but it's nice to know who you living next to or who you living around. Because if they come shoot up their house and a bullet come through your house and kill you, what you gonna do about it? Because you didn't know that you was living next to whatever. See, back in the day, we knew our neighbors. We were familiar with our neighbors. We looked out for each other's children. We made sure that our children were safe, fed. If they were stranded somewhere, we made sure we let their parents know where they was at, blah, 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 blah. But back in the day, we took the time to do that. But we so caught up in this thing that's going on today. I don't know what the evilness is, but we so caught up in it that we forgot how to look after ourselves. Save ourselves so that we can save our youth. We forgot. And it really, really, really goes back to, like that man said there, empathy. Like he said in the video. If the police had just a little bit more empathy, they would have looked at them kids and said, hey, we're going to get you to a safe place when they raided the home. But instead, they left them there, right there in the midst of a raid. Who does that? I just don't know. Now, I bring these subjects up over and over again. And, you know, no one's watching. You check the videos in the previous past or whatever. Look at the video again that I showed for review. Put it in your head. Put it in your mind. Understand that this problem will not go away unless we solve the problem. Tomorrow, another kid will be shot. Tomorrow, another kid will be missing or sold by their own family. Tomorrow, another kid will shoot someone else, an innocent bystander. Another kid won't graduate because we don't pay attention to what's really going on. Yes, everybody works. Well, I got to work for a living. I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for this. But when it happens to you, you got time. When it happens to your family member, all of a sudden things change. Or I'm going to blame the city. Or I'm going to blame this. Or I'm going to blame that. But first you got to look within your own self, your own home, to understand why this happened in the first place. Wake up, people. It's a wake-up call, I'm telling you. I'm just waking you up. Shaking you up and waking you up. That's what Spankey do. Shake it up and wake it up. And that's what you need to know. And this is all over. Because the picture is so much bigger. The picture is so much bigger. You cannot make demands. You cannot make demands on improvement if you don't improve yourself. You cannot ask for a blessing if you are not trying to bless yourself. I mean, what do you not understand about what I'm saying? Now, I ain't going to say it no other way. Now, if you people who are watching me from other countries who can't understand what I'm saying, you got to put that daggone translator on, okay? So you can hear what I'm saying, because it's all over the world. It's not just in one community. Youth are being killed all over. Jamaica, all the islands, Haiti, all over. Youth are being killed all over young. And then some of them are just giving up. They just say, I can't deal with it no more. I'm going to commit suicide. I can't take it no more. This is not what I asked for. This is not what I signed up for when I came out that twat. I did not sign up for this. Put me back in or let me go back some way. That's what they saying. Because they ain't signed up for it. I know I didn't. And that's just how they looking at it. I'm trying to tell you, we have got to do better. We got to do better. It is our obligation to take care of our elderly and our youth. You need elderly because you need to know where you came from. You need your elders because you need to know what they went through before you got here. And if your elders ain't old enough, you got to go to the older ones that's older than them. So you can know. And there'll be all sorts of stories. There'll be stories from the ones that's poverty stricken and still there. And then there'll be ones that went through other things. But in order for you to really know where you come from, you got to look within your own community. You got to look within your history, not no one else's history. My upbringing is way different from some people. Okay? We all individually have different upbringings. But if you go to the oldest person within your family that you know and sit down and listen to them and talk to them for a while, you will learn. You will learn. If you listen, you will learn. I was fortunate enough to meet my great-great-grandparents. I was fortunate enough to sit down and listen to them and what they said or why, what their mannerisms. I was fortunate enough to observe their mannerisms, why they were the way they were, why they saw things differently. It really will make you see things in a new light. And then you will look upon your youth, upon the youth, and you will say, I've got to do better. They are innocent. Innocent to an extent. Where do we go wrong? Well, we put our daily struggles, our daily lives, and daily what we do onto them. You shouldn't do that. Let them grow. Let them be free. But make sure that they're comforted and make sure that they know that they're loved. I can't stress that any more than I normally do. So that's why I narrowed my talk show down to Wednesdays. And the rest of the week, I'm gaming unless I have another topic that comes up. And so I'm going to start talking with people in the community. So next week, God willing, I will have a special guest. And we will talk about these things because, you just can't come from me. You need to hear it from other people within the community. We need to have a forum. We need to talk. I would love to have a forum. If you would like to be on this chat, instead of in the chat, but actually live with me, please let me know. You are more than welcome to come and chat with me. I want to open a forum. The only way we can start bringing it to the forefront and making changes, first we have to talk about it to bring it to light, and then we have to find solutions. My goal is to find a solution. First, I want to show you the devastation that we've suffered. That little girl is a piece of our devastation. Then I want to talk about how we make this work, how we change, how we break the cycle. It's too many innocent lives lost. I see it every day. Anytime you can watch a stream of one funeral home, and within that stream, you have back to back to back to back to back funerals, not just of elderly people, mostly of young people. Back to back to back. That's just one funeral home. Think about all the different funeral homes within the different communities. Come on. That's in one city, one funeral home, and they back to back to back to back every other week. We rolling out like, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say roaches, but they stomping us out like a raid, but I'm telling you, it's not looking pretty right now. Especially for our youth. Give them a chance. Let them live. Give them a chance, people. Give each other a chance. Talk to them. You know, if I had it, I would have better youth centers where they could go after school, or where they could go even if they dropped out of school. Something to occupy their time, just to get them off the streets, just to get them off of that hustle and bustle. Because when it's easier to sell drugs or shoot up somebody for money than going and trying to become an entrepreneur or learn how to become an entrepreneur, a real entrepreneur, legitimately, when it's easy just to knock people off and do that, what you think they gonna do? Is they gonna take the easy way out? Come on. What do you think baby boomers did? The fast money. They want that fast money, the fast, quick, in a hurry. It's people, come on. Now I'm going to stress this every Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about something about the community. I'm going to be chatting about it. I'm going to be saying what I got to say, whether you like it or not. I'm going to be out there talking about it. Because it's necessary. It's necessary to bring it to the forefront. We only come together and we only get right when something tragic happens, like with that little girl, with Shania. We all get together, we pray, we march for a few minutes, but there's no follow-up. And really, that's all for a publicity stunt, because you get the cameras in your face and the cameras are here and there and stuff like that and this and that. But what do you do when the cameras are gone? When the outsiders are gone, what do you do to maintain the community? Do you just go back to what you did before until it happens again? Or do you just go on about your everyday life and say, shoot, just forget it. It ain't worth it. I mean, especially those of you that do have children that you care about, that you love, that you know that you want to have coming up in a safe and good community. Step by step. I mean, it's in some communities are doing it. They're doing it. They're actually taking action every day. We need all of the communities to do that. We need everybody to join in and take action. Stop that gun violence. When you do gun violence, you're just doing what they expect you to do in your communities. They don't have to come and take us out. Y'all lying. All y'all lying with that. Talking about, yeah, they taking us out, they doing this and this. No, they ain't. They don't give a crap about you. You know why? Because you taking yourselves out every day. But they don't have to take us out. You think the COVID shot, the vaccine, that they trying to take it, they trying to take us out. No, they not. That is nothing compared. Y'all taking out each other every day. Shoot, they don't have to do that. They ain't gonna waste their time trying to do that just for y'all when they asking everybody to do it. Wake up. Talking about they gonna control us. Control what? You can't even control yourself. You think they want to? They don't want to control an uncontrollable person. Come on, come on now. Come on. Come on, let's think about it. How can you be so brainwashed and fluid and all of that when you got a brain of your own? You can think clearly for yourself. See things for what they really are. You in the matrix, and you in a made-up matrix that you done made up. And you done took the wrong pill. I'm just saying, you done took the wrong pill. You got to come out of that. If another person tell me something about this and that, and this conspiracy theory, and this, that, and that, and that. Yes, there are other beings on this planet other than humans. Yes, we are not the only ones in this world. We are not the only intelligence. As a matter of fact, we are peons compared to the intelligence that's out there. You best believe they got some intelligence that's out there. That's been here before, way before any of us got here. And they'll be here, and they are here, and they'll be here till the end. And for the most part, they probably been holding us up for this long. Because if they didn't, we probably done blew ourselves up. Shoot, you see how we acting? You don't have no self-control. I'm serious. Yeah, I believe that there is intelligence that's here. Aliens, yes, if you want to say aliens, okay. I don't want to put a title on them, but yeah. We did not do this all by ourselves. And they watching us. Our ancestors are watching us. What? And they saying, what in the world? What happened? What happened? Where did it go? You know, you think about the leaders that really tried to leave a message, a footprint here for us. And day by day, they're ultimately insulted. I mean, what do you think Malcolm X saying? What do you think Martin Luther King saying? What do you think any of them are saying right now? These people that paved the way for us to get as far as we've gotten have not died in vain. I refuse to let it happen. The dancers, the entertainers that worked their butts off, they did not do it for nothing. And yet, you discredit what they did because they did it in a way that you felt was degrading. Well, ain't it degrading for you to be out there selling drugs into your own community and killing off people? Isn't it degrading for you to be shooting up teenagers and infants and molesting child and selling children and this like that? Isn't that degrading? That's more degrading than me dancing a minstrel every 5 seconds. I mean, come on. Come on. It's a part of your history. You cannot wipe away what got you here in the first place. Now you may want to forget, you may want to wipe it away, but the good and the bad and the ugly got you here to where you are. You got to incorporate all of it, not just the good, not just what you want, what you pick and choose to do. No, you got to incorporate it all. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You accepted it for so long, and then now all of a sudden everything is such an insult. You're insulting me. But hey, it's been going on for years. That what you want to focus on? You want to focus on that right now when you got these children dying and these elderly being taken out because people ain't taking care of them and all of this stuff, they being ignored and stuff like that. That's what you want to think about right now. Your feelings is hurt. Is your feelings hurt going to save a life? Is it going to save a life of that, like that child, that 5-year-old child, Shania Davis, that died, Lockhart, that died? It ain't going to do it. Your feelings ain't going to save a life. Your actions could save a life. How you react to things could save a life. But your feelings ain't going to save a life. Your feelings just going to get you locked up. Your feelings just going to keep you angry and mad. Oh, y'all take that anger to the grave. Y'all will take that bitterness and that hatred. You'll take it to the grave. And for what? I put some extra numbers up there. So before I leave, I'll let y'all know that I put some extra numbers up there. The suicide hotline, domestic violence hotline, and the missing. I put that up there for you. And you know, if you feel some kind of way, if you know you're in a situation, in a relationship, see, you know when a relationship is bad and you got children. I had to take my medicine. You know when a relationship is bad. You don't want to admit it. You in a situation with children, but you know you in a nasty relationship. You knew you was in a nasty relationship before you had that child. You knew that that relationship wasn't right. Somebody from the outside told you, and you was like, oh no, you made excuses. But you knew that what they were saying was right. If you know it, get out of it. If you know it, walk away. It ain't worth it. It's going to wind up looking ugly in the end. You know when you with a bad person. And you know that if the person is unstable for your child and you are stable, then you take that child out of the unstable hands. They can come visit while you present. We can I could get somebody, get grandma to come, and y'all can spend time together or something like that. But if you know that you are in an unstable relationships and your kids are in the crossfire, get them out. Don't let them have to be in the middle. And don't you put them in the middle. It's not fair. It's not fair. And if it was done to you, don't mean that you gotta do. See, that's another one. Well, it happened to me when I was growing up. So why? Come on now, break the chains. Just because you went through it, don't mean your child have to go through it. You should want better for your children. You should want them to not have to go through any turmoil that you went through. That's you putting you on them. That's putting your struggles on them. That ain't fair. Now, if you got issues, you handle your issues. Don't put your issues on them kids. It ain't right. Wake up. Well, I'm tired of fussing. And that's what Spanky do on her Spanky Talk Show. Hot topics. And we gonna review. Y'all saw that I did a video. And the video was about Lil Shania Davis Lockhart. And she was taken from us way too soon at the age of 5 years old. She was taken. She wasn't even taken. She was given away, okay? Let's just say that. And he went and he molested this child and suffocated her. And tossed her beautiful little body somewhere off the side of the road somewhere. And she trusted this person that they would not harm her. And they did it. So, y'all can review. You know, a lot of people go back on my videos, watch and review. Y'all can review, watch the video, discuss, comment if you like, share, care. Next week, I'll have a special guest. God willing, everything going right, we're going to have a special guest. It will be announced prior to the show. Tomorrow, I'll be back in gaming world. So catch me on Spanky One Gaming tomorrow. And I bid y'all a good night. And, you know, I just want y'all to have a safe evening and all that good stuff.